All right. Happy Memorial Day week, everybody. Happy Memorial Day week, Joe.
Happy Memorial Day. I'm so tired right now.
Little rough start to the day today, trying to get things going. It happens.
How long have we been here now?
About as long as I waited for you to show up last week, I think.
It's been about an hour and a half.
That's a bit of an exaggeration.
No, it really isn't.
All right. In any event,
What are you doing this weekend?
I don't know.
Well, there we go. It's gonna be a good day.
Yeah. My brain's already fried, so I already apologize ahead of time for whatever happens here for the rest of the show.
This is messed up because I can't see us, so I'm just looking at the back of a computer.
Yeah.
And before I could kind of tell, and now I got nothing.
Look at this as a public service to yourself that you don't have to look at yourself anymore.
Well, I can't really see. It's fuzzy from that distance anyway. I bring my glasses just in case.
Are those the prop glasses or your real glasses?
They're real glasses.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're into Memorial Day weekend coming up here. Means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Here in Indiana, the big event would be the Indy 500. You ever been to an Indy 500?
No.
Me neither. You want to go to an Indy 500?
No.
Me neither.
No.
Moving on. Hey,
It's so crowded. There's so
is.
many people, and they're not people I probably want to hang out with. I mean, there's a lot of good people, I'm sure.
I did see where I think it was Al Unser, who's a big Indy 500 car guy, or he used to be many years ago.
All right.
He's in town for the festivities this weekend in the race, and apparently he got picked up in somewhere in the Indianapolis area. I think it might have been an Avon for an OWI. Made the headlines. So, congratulations, Al.
Well, it seems very obvious now that you can't drink and drive. I mean, it seems.
Well, it's also currently Operation Pullover going on across the country, so now's a really bad time. There's some saturated patrols going on out there.
Well, huh.
So, all right, let's go ahead and dive into the news. You and I had actually talked about something similar about this here recently. I just saw it on Fox News again here this week. Texas Homeowners Association this week warned a Fort Hood soldier that he will be fined if he refuses to take down his American flag. They said that you can't have a flagpole, and so they told me I couldn't have a flagpole, and so I took it off the flagpole. And then the HOA president, who lives right down the street, told me that I can't fly my flag, period, said Army Sergeant Christopher Link. Link told the station the trouble began Wednesday when he got an email from the HOA for the Falls of Fox Creek community, where he is a renter. The email warned Link that his flagpole with the American flag violated the rules, and that the only days the flag can be displayed were Memorial Day, Labor Day, Veterans Day, and Flag Day. Link would go on to say the flag means more to him than most people would realize. The only reason that he joined the Army was to fight for his country because I love that flag and everything that it stands for. Link would then go on to hang his flag on the porch and told the HOA that his right to display the flag was protected under the Freedom to Display the American Flag Act of 2005. Station reported that the HOA told Link that in response, you cannot display your flag. We have gone through this with a number of homeowners. Please remove it or I will have your fine sent out today. The HOA president also told Link in another email that Link's landlord, the owner of the house, also asked that the flag be removed. The owner was the one that asked me to send him the pictures of his home, and he said for you to remove the flag, said the HOA president. When the owner of the property says to do something, you're supposed to comply. Sorry you feel that we are unpatriotic. I served 28 years in the military, but the HOA has its own bylaws that will be followed, and you will follow them like everyone else. No exception. So this goes on for a little bit longer, but
I'm so angry right now.
so Joe's a veteran. He's an Army vet himself, and I think it was you I was talking about this with maybe within the last week or two, where I'd seen something like this similar. I don't know, over the last year or two, where. I don't know if it was an HOA. It probably was an HOA. It was an HOA involvement where a military guy was told something like this. He had his flag displays. They told him no, and he was pretty much said "F you." So he took the flag down and he painted his lawn and his entire front lawn. This guy has like an acre of a front yard, and it's
You
all
didn't
covered
tell
in
me
red,
about
white,
this.
blue.
That is awesome.
So I don't know if this guy will go along those lines or not. He is a renter, but yeah. So these HOAs, they're going to try and trump flag code based on whatever their
Based on what?
percent rules are. Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. I can't help but to think if he wanted to fly a different flag, he would be allowed to do that.
Right, and it doesn't.
And maybe
say
that's
anything
not
else about
true.
that, so.
I just said that. But that is asinine.
I've known a lot of people over the years that have lived in these suburbs or subdivisions, whatever you want to call them, where they have these HOAs and people have to pay. I don't even know how it works, if it's a yearly or monthly fee to be part of this homeowners association, where they have all of these rules, and they tell you what you can and can't do with your own property that you own, which to me is asinine to begin with.
Well, I understand there should be rules. If you have a neighborhood and they're trying to maintain a nice neighborhood and they're providing a service, but no, American flag is that's dumb.
So I don't remember who it was. Several years ago, I remember that. I don't remember who I was. I don't even remember who I was talking to. Somebody I'm associated with, or was it at one time? They had one of these. They lived in a neighborhood with an HOA, and they used to like to sit out. They would like to sit in their garage and look out in the evening time or whatever when it was cooling off. And the HOA had an issue with it and sent them these cease and desist letters. And basically, it got past where everybody had to have their garage doors closed by a certain time. They weren't allowed to have the garage doors hanging open. Really? You can't have the property that you own. They tell you when you can and can't have your garage door open.
There's actually cities that I know that won't let you, after a certain time, you can't have your car out on the street. You have to park it in the driveway. There's all sorts of different rules. I don't understand the flag, though. I don't understand why that would. I mean, it'd be different if it's a tacky flag on his car or a junk car.
Right, I mean, if it's a Packers flag, by all means, take it down, okay? The American flag, no.
No, you shouldn't.
You should never mess with the colors. And you know, we've seen, we won't even get off on that tangent. So let's go ahead and move into our favorite state.
This has been a bad one so far. Okay, we're running really late. Nothing's working out. I'm pissed off about this flag already.
We didn't even start off funny. So.
No. Okay, it might get better.
It's going to get better, Joe, because we're moving to our favorite state in the country.
Florida!
Out of Longwood, Florida.
Do we have anybody that follows us from Florida?
I don't know. I doubt it.
If we did, we don't anymore.
Out of Longwood, Florida, a Florida man was arrested on Mother's Day for playing basketball butt naked to improve his game. Incident began about 7:30 p.m. on May 1st when an employee of Candyland Park in Longwood spotted 29-year-old Jordan Anderson playing basketball naked. The employee called police when officers responded to the park, and they found that Anderson shooting baskets stark naked. The police report said the officer asked Anderson what he was doing, and he explained he was working on his basketball skills and added he feels playing naked enhances his skill level.
Perhaps it does.
I mean, I'm guessing that the defense kind of dissipates when he's out there in the court naked.
It's like, here's the ball. Yeah, it's yours. You win.
Based on observing Jordan at Candyland Park, I mean, this sounds like a nice place, Candyland Park. I don't know. It's a public area without clothing.
Actually, it sounds like a terrible place.
Based on observing him at Candyland Park, which is a public area and without clothing, exposing his sexual organs, they found probable cause to charge Jordan with indecent exposure. Jordan didn't give them any trouble when they asked him to put his clothes back on. Once he was fully clothed, they arrested him.
Did he have his ID on him? and if he did they want it? That's okay. You hang on to that. Just hold it up so I can look at it.
Well,
This is Florida.
It's Florida, man. I mean, this weird stuff.
What's wrong with you people in Florida?
I don't know. See if he's got his. Yeah, there's his booking photo. You can see. I'll put that up there for you guys.
So far, it's the best part of my day.
I mean, I'm guessing he's probably not that great of a ball player to begin with.
Let me see if I got this down.
If you can make your eyes go that two different directions, power to you.
He wasn't shooting anywhere near the basket.
We're going to go ahead and stay in Florida for the next news story.
Why not?
Out of Northport, Florida. Detectives in Northport, Florida received a special delivery while serving a search warrant at a suspected drug house this week. Police were at a home on Thursday to serve a warrant and arrested 24-year-old Brian Vanscover and 19-year-old David Chesser on multiple drug charges. While detectives were in the home, they found numerous drugs and guns, but while processing the scene, a United States Postal Service carrier arrived with a package addressed to Vanscover. It contained approximately 4 pounds of marijuana in vacuum sealer bags. In total, the following items received: 2 handguns with 30-round magazines, several boxes of ammunition, 243 grams of THC, 12 grams of cocaine, liquid codeine, 97 THC cartridges, and 4 pounds of marijuana. So, even if this guy, a lot of times we'll see in our profession where that's not mine, that doesn't belong to me, I don't know how that got there. he actually received a package in the mail from a
With
postal worker
his address,
with his name and address on
yeah.
it, with 4 pounds of weed.
I'm sure they still denied it.
Well, I don't know why somebody would send that to me.
And last week, didn't we have somebody in Florida get a package?
Here are some movies matching anatomy.
Huh.
Thank you, Siri.
Why are you looking up movies like that?
I don't know what happened. This day sucks. It just sucks. Okay. It's just gone to hell. It's gone to hell.
And that was our show for the day.
I have no idea what that was about. Okay. Pull it together. What the hell are we talking about?
I got tears in my eyes.
Okay.
There was drugs and I think I
Drugs in the mail.
It happened last week too, except these people actually it wasn't for them.
So this does remind me that do you have any? You probably don't. Do you have like an Alexa in your house or a smart speaker of any kind?
No, I don't.
So these things will go off. This is an Apple Watch for those of you that I don't know if it even came across on the audio or not. But.
Please intensify that so they can hear.
So basically, what we're talking about the human anatomy. Apparently, Siri thought I was asking her for movies about the human anatomy.
That didn't sound good.
It didn't sound good.
I can't search that.
See, she's still going
Search
off.
by title. Actors.
I don't know what's going on.
Effing Apple.
Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah, we need to take a vote.
But anyway, my mom, they've got my stepdad. He loves all the technology and stuff, kind of like I do, and he loves the Amazon Echoes or Alexa, whatever you want to call it. And he's got a couple of them, I think, in his house here in Indiana. And my mom despises it. She hates it. She calls it that girl and that other not so nice word. It's pretty comical when you get her on a tangent about it. When my kids go over there to visit, they like to do things to get Alexa going and just to irritate grandma, and it's quite comical. But
Hey, Marcia.
she called me, this has been a while back now, she called me one night, or the next, I don't remember if it was the night of it happened or the day after, but she was all kinds of furious because she said that she was just sitting in there watching TV and all of a sudden, that damn beep. She goes, I was just sitting there watching TV and all of a sudden it just growled at me like a wild tiger.
What is your stepdad program used to do?
I tried to look because the way the Echoes work is you can install what they call smart skills from your phone. So you can get on the Amazon Echo app download it to your phone or whatever. And then you can search and you can find just about any app known to mankind, and you can install your Echo to be compatible with it. And I don't know where
The roar would
roaring
come
tiger
from.
would come from.
I don't know, but I have a lot of questions for Marcia now.
Yeah, but they do the smart speaker. Even ours at home, they do. So it'll be something like that. You'll be sitting there minding your business, all of a sudden it'll say something random, and you're like, "What in the hell?" So maybe Big Brother is listening in on these things. I don't know. But.
That makes me a little nervous. And honestly, I can turn on my own lights and turn on my TV and turn off my TV. I'm good with that yet.
I use my phone usually.
Of course you
or
do.
My voice.
Oh, of course you do.
And sometimes she finds me some adult movies without asking.
Apparently so.
All right.
This is now the best podcast we've ever had.
Out of Adams County, Pennsylvania, state police responded to a domestic incident in Huntington Township early Monday morning when a man was punched in the groin and left bleeding by his ex-girlfriend.
Punch in the groin, bleeding?
Yeah. On May 13th at approximately 1:19 a.m., police arrived at 141 Bateman Road, where they found the victim, George Nicholas, in an ambulance being treated for injuries caused by Michaela Buttafuoco. According to police, Buttafuoco was in Nicholas's home when she returned from a bar and began questioning him about his whereabouts and what he had been doing. Nicholas told police that the two had begun to argue and that the altercation had turned physical, but he did not strike Buttafuoco. After being struck by Buttafuoco several times, Nicholas asked her to leave, and when he did, she turned around and punched him straight in the groin. Nicholas then realized that his scrotum was torn open and contacted the police at that time. But Afuko was not forthcoming with her accounts of the events and had no visible injuries herself, other than a red mark on her forehead, which she would not say was caused by Nicholas. Punched him so hard it tore open his scrotum.
Oh my God.
That's quite the wallop.
I don't know about you, but my legs just squished together. That
And
is.
she looks, I'll try to put a picture up there for you guys, but she looks kind of mean.
Oh, yeah. So she came from a bar.
Most likely at that time. Yeah.
Well, I think that's what you read.
Is that what I read?
I was actually paying attention.
I wasn't. I'm still going back to my watch.
And then she questioned his whereabouts.
Yeah.
I'm confused by that, but yeah, she's kind of scary looking. She reminds me. You ever watch The Addams Family? Was it Grandmama? Or is that Monsters?
Grandmama was Larry Johnson from the 90s.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that too, but that was one of the. It's either Monsters or The Addam Family.
See that?
She's
that
very
basketball,
similar.
That basketball story is so good. I actually bookmarked it twice.
Oh.
This isn't really a funny thing. It's, well, it kind of sort of is. So when I say Steak and Shake, which is a restaurant chain that's been around for decades, most people, their brain would immediately go to probably the milkshakes. They go along there. They're kind of famous for their milkshakes, along with their steak burgers.
And their terrible service and terrible food. I didn't say that.
Regardless, Steak and Shake's been around a long, long time.
Yes, it has.
There's two of them in a town 20 minutes south of us now. Well, there were. One of them actually closed due to, I guess, a plethora of Board of Health violations, from what I understand. And I think that building's actually for sale now, so there's apparently no coming back from it.
Oh.
But anyway.
Well, that's sad.
I thought this
kind
was
of feel bad about that now.
It was kind of interesting that Steak and Shake is headed for, insider reports state that Steak and Shake is headed for extinction as the chain loses millions and temporarily closes dozens of restaurants. And basically the CEO, in a way to try and recover loss, is talking about taking cherries out of the milkshakes.
Well, that's why he's CEO, because he's a genius.
He's a genius. So they're saying that, I gotta try and find the figure here. I read this, I think, a week or so ago. Some astronomical amount of money that they spend on putting cherries on top of these milkshakes.
So they're just gonna, and now they're all better.
He's claiming that despite all their...
Does he mean that that's just one of the things he's gonna do, or he really thinks this is the thing that's gonna put them over the top?
He says $1 million a year in cherries on top of the milkshakes. $1 million isn't going to do them a whole lot of good if... So basically these, and I like Steak and Shake, I do.
My wife likes it a lot too.
We don't usually go, we tend to go through a drive-thru more than often than not. If we do go, then go inside, just because, I guess maybe we've had the similar experience as you. Usually the service isn't the best, and
right.
It's slow, and
they just seem angry to be there.
Yeah, and it's usually...
And it's not all of them, it's just the experiences I've had. I'm sure that most of the time it's good. I just have had bad experiences.
Yeah, I don't know, but you go through the drive-thru. It's a little slower than your normal drive-thru, but I do like their burgers and fries every once in a while. So it's kind of sad, I guess, because they've been around. I'm not sure they are going to say when Steak and Shake open. I'm not sure, but I mean it's been around for decades, and it's just another one of those businesses that if you kind of take for granted, it's been around forever, and it's just kind of going by the wayside.
Well, there's so many new places opening all the time. It's got to be harder and harder to keep up.
Right.
With all restaurants. I was taught Ron Short came to the bakery the other day. You know who Ron Short is?
Mm-hmm.
He owned the siding for 11, 12 billion years. And he was talking about all the restaurants that have come and gone and how much competition he always had. And I guess it's something, you're always going to have the big ones. McDonald's is always going to be around, stuff like that. The other people, they just kind of come and go. Do they have Shakey's around here?
No.
No? Godfather Pizza?
No.
Yeah, it's just stuff that's kind of disappeared, I guess. Jack in the Box, they still have Jack in the Box?
I want to say that there's one of those, at least there used to be, I think down there around by my mom, I think that there was one in like the Plainfield area, Avon, somewhere in there. I don't know if it's still there or not.
It just happens. It's sad though, the CEO, that's what he's coming up with. There's got to be
taking
more
the
things.
cherries.
There's got to be more to it than that, but yeah, maybe hell, maybe that's what their whole problem is. I mean, we don't have their numbers in front of us.
You know, and it's, and you understand business obviously a bazillion times better than I do, but
No.
at least you pretend to.
There you go.
But, you know, there are pictures surfaced online of this Steak and Shake that closed, you know, in Kokomo,
Mhm.
the one that closed down. I don't know if you saw those or not, but
No.
it was disgusting.
Oh, was it bad?
I mean, how filthy this place was.
I'll tell you, you know, we have Board of Health coming in the bakery all the time. We have the county, we have the state, we have FDA. There's actually 2 departments in the state that come to the bakery, and neither one of them know about the other one, because they'll say, well, we haven't been here for 2 years. We just had a guy here 6 months ago who's from the state. But they come in at different times, and there's sometimes you're right in the middle of production, or let's say Steak and Shake's right in the middle of a rush. It can be chaotic, you know, and the bakery's terrible. I mean, you've been in the back of the bakery. It's there's flour and cinnamon flying around all the time. It's just,
Right.
you know, and then when we get all done with the day, everything gets wiped down. But unless they come in at 12:30 at night or something, they're not going to see it clean.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel bad when I hear about a business they're saying, oh, they're just disgusting. It's like, well, I want to know more about it before I pass judgment.
Right, and I'm not passing judgment. I guess I found it just humorous that the CEO of this once mighty franchise, that's the
funny.
solution is get rid of the cherry toppings.
Well, $1 million, but I don't know how many stores they have.
Right.
If they have a million stores to save them $1 a year, I don't know. I'm
Big
not
deal.
impressed with that, but you had to be a CEO for some reason. You had to know something.
Mm.
I'm just trying to be nice. It's not easy for me.
Yeah.
Because before we got on air, we were talking about things that we're not allowed to talk about, apparently. Probably. We weren't as nice. One day, though, I'll be retired. Lee will be retired. It's going to be a whole different show. Now, I wonder what, I'll retire first, of course, because I'm centuries older than you are.
Yeah.
But I wonder if I can still talk about all the forbidden things.
I don't care what you're talking about.
Yeah, you can just sit there and shake your head.
That's what I usually do anyways.
Okay, well, it's going to get more interesting soon.
All right, let's go ahead and move on there. Ohio school ends valedictorian and salutatorian. I can't even say it.
I can't either, because we've never been up that
To
high.
improve students' mental health.
I know how to say last in class.
So basically, this school out of Mason City, Ohio, has determined that since the beginning of time, right, these high school students that are very smart and work very hard to be towards the top of their class.
I knew people like that.
They, you know, they get granted, you know, the class valedictorian.
Right.
And this, basically the school district is saying that it's putting too much pressure on the children and that they will no longer recognize a valedictorian in their class. And, they will instead honor students in a similar fashion as colleges and universities, the summa cum laude, magna cum laude, and you know, those types of things. So,
You know what they should do is they should give everyone a trophy.
Yeah.
Hey, did you graduate? Here's a trophy. You graduated last, you still get a trophy.
This same school has also announced that classes will start a half an hour later each day in order to boost attendance as well as grades.
Wow. Not even sure where to start with that.
So we've talked a lot about what we feel is wrong with schools, not necessarily on the show, but you know, just in general.
Right.
You know, we both interact with people from all the schools.
Yeah.
Every day, pretty much. So.
We were actually going to do a video about that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that's going to go over. We had some great ideas.
Yeah. What the hell? You know, I mean, I
Just
don't even
let
know where to
loose,
start.
Lee. Let it.
So these kids, I had friends. When
Shut up.
I did. Once upon a time, I had friends.
Okay, let's
But
just say.
you know, when I was say in high school, I had friends. That was their goal. They wanted to be the top of the class.
And they strove for that, and they worked hard to do that.
Right.
But what's their motivation if there's no recognition?
Right.
There's no more. It's like, well, if you're not going to get any more recognition than the person who finished 20th,
Yeah.
why bother? That's stupid. You're still Ohio. Where was that in Ohio?
Mason.
Mason, Ohio. You're stupid. You're welcome.
So they're taking this away from kids because they say it's too stressful, which is an ongoing problem with
Yeah, because
everything.
life is not stressful.
No, not at all.
Once they get out of high school, it's a bed
Sunshine
of
and
roses.
rainbows.
Absolutely.
So we've talked a lot about accountability. You and I have, or lack thereof,
Yes.
in the school systems, and it's not. It's everywhere. Okay, it's not just in our neck of the woods. You see it in the news every day. I can put up. Maybe I'll do that. I'll put up videos. Have you seen the videos where students are actually physically attacking their teachers
No.
in the classrooms?
You know, and
So-
this isn't because of our teachers right now. Our teachers are great.
Right.
Our local administrations are not bad administrations, but they're being dictated by the state, and the state sucks. The state, they're all worried about their votes and stuff like that. They no longer care about, they're caring about making these kids happy right now. Oh, they should have a phone in class because, you know, that's their right to have a phone. No, they need an education, and they have plenty of time to be on their phone. If you're at work, you're not supposed to be on your phone. Why? I'm sorry, I've gone on a tangent. Go ahead.
No,
I'm
this
sorry.
is where I was headed. So, you know, I'm sorry, but it's bullshit.
It is.
And the lack of accountability that the state of Indiana, where the show is taped it from, and we're not speaking on behalf of teachers. We can't give their opinions for them.
No.
We don't know. I mean, I'm sure that they all sit on different sides of the fence, probably.
I doubt it, but okay. Go ahead.
But you know, this is ridiculous. You read about teacher shortages across the country. Well, I wonder why.
They freeze their pay.
They freeze their pay. We just did a story last week where if you get sick in California, you're expected to pay for your replacement. They have no, from what we've seen with these videos, and I'll have to show you some of the shows over. I'll put some up here, maybe in the loop while we're talking about this. But these teachers, they're being physically attacked by students in their classroom, and then you see not only are the idiots, the other kids in the classroom recording this crap.
Yeah, well, because they have their phone anyway.
The ones that aren't recording it, they're jumping in and helping attack these teachers. There's also been videos that have surfaced online
and if these teachers fight back, they're screwed. Then you're hitting a minor.
And then there's been videos where the SROs, or the school resource officers in these buildings, they go to intervene in fights, or they try and get some kid under control that's been, you know, physically combative with somebody. Same story. The SRO is getting attacked. He's being recorded as, you know, trying to get somebody under control, and then all of a sudden, all the posse jumps in and starts kicking the tar out of the cop, more or less. So, you know, I see this crap where these kids they're cussing out their teachers, they're cussing out the principals and assistant principals. I've actually seen this myself in person, on top of classmates. You know, it's one thing if you're cussing your classmate.
We got in trouble for that too.
Yeah, we got in trouble for it. But my God, when you're doing this to your teachers, to your principals, your assistant principals, people of authority,
no respect.
And I've seen all I ever see is, well, take a walk down the hallway and cool off, or let's put you in a quiet classroom and give you time to reflect. Give me a damn break, okay? And Joe's right. This is, you know, I'm not laying this on the teachers by any means. This comes from the administrators in the state of Indiana who say this is the way things are supposed to be done. No, it's not. You're creating a problem. You're creating an entitlement.
Well, how about this funding thing? If your school has a certain graduation rate, you get under a certain rate, or the grade, the GPA is lower than they want it, they cut your funding. They should be giving you more funding. You need help. You need more assistant teachers. You need some help, and they cut you. So what are they doing? They're trying to make it like this half hour. Oh, we want to boost attendance. We didn't have a choice.
Right.
You go to school, you get a job. Hey, a job starts at 8 o'clock. It's not like, well, let's start your job at 8:30, so it's, you know, I want to make sure you make it on time.
Right.
What a bunch of shit.
Yeah, it's
not that we're getting fired up about this or anything.
Well, you know, and that's frustrating to me because I still have kids that have a long ways to go in school,
Mm-hmm.
and you know,
they're like that, always cussing the teachers and beating on them
they're
and
not.
stuff.
And you know, when we were growing up, not only would you get your ass beat in school,
you go
home and get it even worse, right? So,
well, Lee and I both went to Catholic schools.
Nuns.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we spend a lot of our time like this.
You want to fix the discipline problem in the schools across the country?
Just put some nuns back in there.
Back in there, okay? Because they
didn't take that crap.
They took no crap off anybody for anything. You didn't even have to do anything wrong to get in trouble with the nuns usually. So, my godmother was a nun. I don't know if I ever told you that.
No.
She was a fantastic lady. But
you're still afraid of her, aren't you?
I am. But yeah, this crap of let's walk down the hallway and let you cool off. Let's put you in a quiet room and give me a break, okay?
They don't like to fail anybody anymore.
Yeah,
they
nobody
don't want
gets failed anymore. It doesn't matter if you're the best student or the worst student. You're gonna move on.
And being somebody who has failed, it was good for me.
Yeah.
I did really well in the classes that I took 2, 3, 4 times.
I wouldn't know what that's like except for an algebra.
Mine was English.
But yeah, it's out of control. The entitlement, everything should be handed to me on a silver platter. The lack of accountability for your actions,
You're
it's
going
a
to be an
problem.
adult one day.
It's a problem.
You're going to have to. Is this what our world's coming to?
Yeah, unfortunately, it is.
Oh,
And
Lordy.
and it's before we move on here, we're talking about teacher shortages. Why would anybody growing up now want to become a teacher?
My son is actually going to school, and he wants to be a teacher, and I'm afraid he's
Right.
going to start, and he is going to say, you know what, screw this.
Because they'll have no control.
I can go someplace else and make a lot more money and not have any of this crap.
And we're seeing the same thing in my profession in law enforcement. The departments all across the country are chomping at the bit to get qualified candidates to apply, and they can't do it because we're getting shot and stabbed and run over left and right. Every day you read a headline about a death or a near death in the law enforcement community somewhere here in the United States. And it's because of garbage like this. And then the politicians hop in, this felon that shot the cop 20 times he should have never been approached to begin with. That's profiling and blah, blah. Give me a break, okay? Walk a day in a police officer's shoes. Walk a day in an educator's shoes and get back to us. Work in the real world, okay? So let's move on before we
get too fired
up. But it's stupid. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, moving on from the serious topics, let's go ahead and do this. Man didn't eat free KFC for a year and claims he was from head office. Lad Bible reported that a man ate at a KFC for free for a year by claiming he was from the fast food company's head office. It was also reported that the man was later arrested.
He got away with it for a year, though.
He got away for a year.
Well, that's impressive.
27-year-old guy was close to genius. It only missed the mark because he has now been arrested and will appear in court after allegedly scamming his way to eating KFC for an entire year.
What's the penalty for that?
I don't know. I'm trying to see what this is.
He BS'd them and he won for a year. Well, I wonder how they caught.
It doesn't really have a whole lot of information in it. It was just something I thought was kind of humorous and bookmark. It's a short article, but how do you go to all these KFCs wherever?
They're all different KFCs?
Yeah, and does he have some type of? He must have come up with some pretty good identification.
How hard would it be to print something off and laminate it and if he's seen it before? And most people at fast food, honestly, how long do you see the same person working at a fast food restaurant?
Yeah.
If you go there for a month, how many times do you see that same person? So I could see that. We should try that. I like KFC.
We could cover it in grease and they would never know the difference anyway. Right?
Yeah. I know where we can get a bunch of grease.
Yeah.
Ooh, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. So
Did Buttafuoco get that?
I don't know. Well, this is for the veterans in here. For any that are watching, veterans and their immediate family members can get free Chick-fil-A meal Wednesday evening at participating Michiana restaurants. So that'd be in the northern Indiana here.
That's where my wife's from, that area.
So I do like me some Chick-fil-A. So that's actually if you watch the show Wednesday morning, you'll hear this and know that you can go to Chick-fil-A and get a free meal if you're a vet. So.
Or once you retire from the police force, you're a vet, or is it different?
That's military.
What different? I never got shot at. Well,
when you're so low to the ground, it's hard for.
They start shooting and everyone duck. Well, except you, DeRocher. You just keep going.
So that's all the news headlines we've got for today, other than the people blowing up about this Game of Thrones show that neither one of us have ever watched. People are pretty passionate
We
about
can't say anything about it. We could make something up.
We have no insight about it.
Game of Thrones. So it's about kings, right?
Maybe you and I should just randomly do a watch along. Maybe if that's interesting anybody, maybe Joe and I can watch our first Game of Thrones show live one day, and you guys.
Oh hell no! I'm not watching that.
We can narrate it. We can narrate it.
Can we turn down the volume and just talk for them?
We don't actually have to listen. We can just kind of lip read and give our interpretation.
I would like to do that with a movie and have a movie playing in the background, but we'll turn off the volume and we'll make up all of our own words for different scenes, iconic scenes. That's the same my wife gives me when she's thinking, no.
Is he still talking?
Alexa?
Yeah. Wow! All right, well, this has been enough of a disaster for one day. I think we'll go ahead and call it good for this week. But appreciate everybody listening in, keeping with us, and I guess
they're not watching anymore.
Yeah. After the whole watch thing went off, it was over.
It's done.
Thanks for sticking with us. We hope you all have a great Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.